Okay, so now we have our animations and they are ready to go. So we've got various in and out animations, both ins, etc. And so now we're going to need to build our logic. So I want you to go to the no logic scene so that we can all start together. Just leaving your no animation scene wherever you got to. And you're going to click on the scene object inside your object manager. And then you're going to click on your object inspector on the second tab. So let's add a new rule. So that's this button here. And once we've done that, you'll have a new rule that's untitled. If you click on that for a moment, it will highlight, and we can rename that as in and out. That's just for your notes. You can actually name that anything you wish. And then we're going to look at this first tab over here. So just bringing attention to that. We actually have 3 tabs here, and we're going to be focused on this first one, in and out. These here are actually drop-down menus. So if you click on the side over here, you're going to see a selection of all your different in and out, well, all your scene directors. In this case, I'm going to choose in, and I'm going to choose out. Okay, so we have our first rule done. So we should have a look at what that does. If you take your no logic scene and you drag it in, you play it, you'll see it plays in, and if I click take offline, it goes off, in, off, etc. Anyone who's used XPression without transition logic knows that you normally use one scene director and you have a pause and you take and take again. So this can be a bit confusing for operators who are new to XPression. So this makes it work in a way that they might expect. And I would say if you're going to use transition logic on on some of your scenes, I would build it for all your scenes to work in that way, rather than having a mix of different methods. So it'll make it more consistent. Now we're going to look at what happens if you don't have other rules. So I'm going to take on this scene, which is the no logic scene, and I take on another one of the same scene, and you can see it goes off and it comes on, and we don't want that to happen. We want it to behave like the complete scene where just the text animates. So let's look how we add some of those extra rules to get to that stage. So going back to layout, we're going to add a new rule, and this rule is going to be called both in. And this rule is going to have some conditions that, if true, it's actually going to play a back-to-back animation. So if we go over here to the second tab called back-to-back, and what back-to-back means is if this scene is playing again next to itself. So this is how you get a page update type of animation. So let's see. In here we have our both text in and our both text out. However, this XPression doesn't yet know when it should be playing this, so we need to tell it. And if we right click on the rule, we can add a condition. And if we do a add condition, back-to-back condition, and in this case we're going to compare the text objects. And I've added one, and that one is going to be, is the title different? So you can see here I've got 2 options. Is it different? Is it the same? And then if we add another rule, or other condition, sorry, and this one is going to be the subtitle, and is that one also different? And that's going to be the first condition. So if we now play, those 2 that I have before here are actually both the same. So it's actually not going to work again. You see how it doesn't change. However, if I now change what this second one has content-wise, so let's say, there we go. Let's play this first one in, and the second one, and now we have our animation. Don't worry about the issues with the mask. We're going to look at that later. Cool. So we have our first rule with conditions. So let's have a look. Let's take this one and we're going to add a condition, back-to-back condition. In fact, what we can do is if you right click and you duplicate, and then we're going to say no change. And this is to help XPression know exactly what to do, because if you do not specify every possibility, sometimes you may see unexpected behavior. So you do need to also tell it XPression what to do when the other rules are not true. So if you, the more specific you are, the more success you have. So I'm going to say what to do if both of these are the same. And in this case, we don't want it to play any animation at all, so we can actually make use of that null. If you want to, you could play an animation even when there's no change. It's totally up to you. In this case, I'm going to use the null object, so follow along with me for now. And that means that if stuff is the same, it won't do anything. So if you accidentally take the same content to where twice, so we're going to do that now. So if I duplicate this one, what we'll see now is the first time it changes, and if I take this one, it doesn't do anything, you see. So that's probably what you want, because normally if you're going to take the same thing to air twice, it's probably a mistake. So now we're going to make the upper and lowers. I'm going to do a duplicate again. We're going to say upper text, and I'm going to say title is different. So you see here it's just the title, and you can actually see it updated here. So check if title is different, check if subtitle is the same. Now we need to go and tell it which animations to play. So I'm back on the back-to-back tab. I'm going to change the first one to be upper text in, upper text out. So the last rule we need to add is the opposite or inverted version of this rule. So if we duplicate this rule, and what we need to do is change our conditions. So we can either click invert, or you can just click the radio buttons. Just want them the opposite way around to what they were. So now we have is title the same and subtitle different. And of course we need to choose some different animations that happen when we do that. So we want the lower text in, and we want the lower text out. We're going to rename this. It will still work without the naming, but this is so in a year's time when you come back and try and figure out what you're doing, you know. So we should have now a fully working lower third. We can play the first one like we did before. We get our change. Let's duplicate this guy. Let's play that one, and we should just get the top change. As I said before, don't worry about this masking issue. We're going to learn that in the next section, how to deal with that. And then we're going to duplicate this guy, and we will change the lower level. So it's going red because I've put a soft limit and a hard limit on this text, which you can see in XPression U videos. And I'm going to play that. And now we have a fully working back-to-back logic scene, with the exception of those masks, which come back in a minute, and we will look at how to fix those.